fam, welcome back. Okay, so I have been asked to recap Ultimate Girls Trip. They're on season 3 right now, and I am a little behind. I'm gonna do the reviews for y'all, but y'all know it's already been dropped. They are on episode 4. I think episode 4 just released today. So I'm gonna play catch up for a bit. Okay, I will be recapping episode 1 and 2 in this video, and then the next video y'all will get, which is probably going to be tomorrow, is going to be episodes 3 and 4. And then next week, it'll be a weekly thing since I'm going to be caught up. Okay, so let's get into episodes 1 and 2 of Ultimate Girls Trip. So of course, they start with all of the girls coming from their respective cities when they show everybody pull up to the villa with Pepsi greeting everybody. Now, Candace has already told us that Pepsi is going to have to read them in the interview that I reacted to, so I like Pepsi already. So Candace and Giselle see each other and they're all buddy-buddy. Now this is after season 7 filmed, but before the reunion. So I understand that she wasn't as upset because she didn't see everything that Giselle said, but to be honest, the accusation should have been enough. Why did the sneaky link comment set her off so bad? So you weren't even upset with the accusations. You were gonna move forward with Giselle even after she accused your husband of that. But once she called him a sneaky link, that was it. It's just confusing to me that they left season 7 on good terms. And if Candace hadn't watched season 7, they still would have been on good terms. Like, I don't know. That's just weird to me. I get that Giselle was saying a lot of stuff behind her back that Candace probably didn't know about, but she did know that she falsely accused her husband of hitting on her. So that should have been enough. So once Heather and Whitney arrived, Giselle immediately asked them about the Jen Shah situation. Well, really just Heather. They weren't really asking Whitney anything. Heather is sticking to her story. She didn't know anything. She thinks Jen Shah truly believed she was innocent, and she found out the day of court. Girl, bye. And then Heather said she still rides for Jen Shah, and the ladies thought she was crazy. Giselle actually said something that was funny to me. She thought she was reading Heather, but in my opinion, she was really reading Robin.
Loyalty is great, but when you realize that you're loyal to the wrong person, you gotta know when to retreat. Back it up. Abort.
Robin is loyal to her to a fault, so maybe she should take some of Giselle's advice and back it up. So after Giselle was done grilling them, Heather was very annoyed. She felt like everybody was telling her not to be Jen's friend. And on top of that, she feels like Whitney kind of got away with everything. Nobody really asked her anything. It's the first day, you know, they're ready to start hanging out. You know, they all want to have fun. They don't want to be in any drama. And this is where the situation with the girl speaking Spanish that, you know, went crazy on social media. This is when that happened. Because basically, Whitney called Giselle out for being messy.
Praying for all of our families at home, keep them safe, and protect us from the drama.
Oh, she's looking at Giselle.
And then after she said that, Alexia and Marisol started speaking to each other in Spanish. So Giselle assumed that what they were talking about was related to what had just happened.
Eso me salió del alma. Okay, no, I have a rule. No Spanish. No. What?
Was she wrong for thinking that? No. Y'all not about to sit here and act like when y'all go somewhere and it's people around you talking in a different language that you don't think that they talking about you. Especially for my ladies who go to the nail shop. I always think they talking about my feet. So was Giselle wrong for thinking that? No. However, when I'm at the nail shop, I don't look at the ladies and say, hey, no Chinese. Don't speak that Chinese around me. You can't do that. You can't tell other grown people what to do. Perhaps you should have asked them what they were talking about and just explained, you know, I assumed that y'all was talking about me because of what just happened. Now, they do end up having this conversation later, but in this moment, she was very wrong for just telling them to stop speaking Spanish. You can't tell somebody to just stop speaking Spanish. Her feelings were very valid, but the way that she handled it was wrong. Like, you can't tell people what to do. I just feel like Portia and Giselle are being very messy. Like, I see exactly what Candace was talking about with the whole mean girl thing. Like, Portia really is like a mini Robin right now. You know, Giselle comes up with the idea who she wants to target, what she gonna say, and then she makes sure her sidekick is on board. And that's what Portia is doing right now. So Giselle is still on this Jen Shah thing. She thinks the ladies know more than what they're telling. So her next target is gonna be Whitney because they didn't get anything out of Heather. So they're sitting with, I think it was Heather Yeah, I think it was just Heather. I think it was Candace, Giselle, and Heather just sitting. And Giselle keeps asking, where's Whitney? Where's Whitney? Because she ready to be messy. But Heather's mess kind of took over the moment because she had this idea to get Leah drunk after she read Leah's book, knowing about her addictions and her alcohol problems and all of that. Now, Heather did say she read the book, so you clearly know that she doesn't drink. So, like, why are you being messy? That was very rude. Giselle did stir the pot a little bit and make that situation bigger than what it was, but Heather knew what she was doing. Like, you read her book. You know she doesn't drink. So the ladies are going out for their first night, and I guess Candace is taking too long. They left her. The girls start talking about how they're not really feeling Heather, and I understand why, honestly. I see why she rubs people the wrong way. She seems very passive-aggressive. Like, she just say little slick things, and then when she gets called out on them, she acts like a victim. Like Whitney said, she's gonna pretend like she don't remember what was said. So they finally get to the dinner. Giselle further explains to the Miami ladies why she was feeling a certain way when they started speaking Spanish. I'm glad she explained it better because I understand where she's coming from. Like I said, everything that she said was valid. It's just the way that she handled it. So the Miami girls accepted her apology, but they did call her out on being in everybody else's business as a deflection from her own life. And that is what everybody has been saying about Giselle since forever. Leah then confronted Heather on throwing digs about her sobriety. And Heather did exactly what Whitney said she would do, which is play dumb and act like she don't know what was said. But they did end up getting past it. So episode 1 ends with a little bit of tension because they decide to play this game of best and worst impression. So each lady is going around saying who gave them the best and who gave them the worst impression. So when it got to Whitney, Whitney said she misjudged Candace because of everything that she saw on Potomac in regards to Ashley and her pregnancy and how Candace did all of that on Twitter on the day Ashley delivered her baby. Now, Candace explained where she was coming from. Candace explained her side and why she did the things that she did. And after she explained herself, Portia kind of interjected and tried to speak for Candace. And Candace wasn't really having it. She wasn't feeling what Portia was saying at all. It wasn't really like a full-blown argument, but it was tension. You could see that they're not really trying to go there with each other. So episode 1 ends with the Candace and Portia exchange. Now, episode 2 starts, and the ladies get on the bus to head to see these elephants. And Alexia starts telling her personal story, which is another reason that I am interested in Miami. So she was married, and then she separated from her husband, I guess because she found out he was bisexual. And then he ended up passing away, unfortunately. And then Marisol talks about her story and how she was afraid to put her mother on the show because she was afraid of what social media would say about her face. And when she showed us before pictures of her mother was gorgeous. She had some sort of health issue. I can't remember exactly what it was that prevented her from getting a facelift. So she had to get fillers instead, and she ended up with a botched job. So that's really unfortunate. And that's also very understandable because we know how social media is. Now, I know a lot of y'all watch Miami. So y'all let me know. Did they attack her mom on social media when she brought her on the show, or were they more understanding? Was Marisol open about that from the beginning and got sympathy from the audience kind of? Because I don't know. You know, she never really said what ended up happening. Y'all know I don't watch Miami. Somebody let me know how that went. Episode 2 was good for me because I learned a lot about the ladies that I didn't know. Like, they talked more about their personal storylines. Leah shared her story as well. She talks about how her last season filming in New York was very rough because her grandmother passed away and her grandmother was dying the first week of filming. And Leah didn't feel like she was allowed to leave. And the other ladies disagree with that. And I don't know nothing about working on reality TV or Bravo or nothing, but I highly, highly doubt they would keep you from a dying family member. So I don't think anybody really believed her, but they let her have her moment. Now, when she was telling her story, I personally think that she probably regrets leaving a little too late. So then she blamed production to make herself feel better. So then Candace starts getting emotional at the table. She doesn't really want to talk about it, but then she opens up on the bus ride back to the villa. She's talking about how her and Chris are not in a good place and they had the biggest fight of their marriage before she came on the show. And they were like talking about divorce. Like it was that bad. And basically the root of their problems is Chris going back to work. COVID put a lot of people out of work, so they had to be at home. And it was an adjustment for people. And then when COVID was over, they had to readjust to getting back to working. So, I understand that. And, we kind of saw that on season 7. They weren't really getting along the best on season 7. I just want to talk about Heather and Whitney for a minute because they have a very weird relationship to me because I don't watch Salt Lake City, so I don't really get it. So they're related. They found out they were related. I guess they're cousins, but they're on a friendship break. So they're not really friends, but they're clinging towards each other, I guess, because they don't know the other ladies. They really confuse me because I don't really know if they actually like each other or if they're just holding on to this friendship because they're related. So then they have a dinner and Miss Patti LaBelle, aka Candace. So she done gave everybody nicknames for the night. They were supposed to be petty nicknames. So they were supposed to be all petty nicknames. They were only petty when it came to Giselle and Portia.
Your ladyboy name is Shanita Man. Shanita Man. Your sister, Shanita Man, she'll take a man.
But the name that she gave Giselle was very generous compared to the other things that she came up with.
Giselle could have been Rude Paul, Anita Stylist, Dummy Moore, Arthritis. Take your pick.
So Giselle was not happy. She just kept calling Candace out. Like, Candace, you did not distribute that petty, girl.
Petty was not distributed equally.
Portia tried to call Giselle out for being mad about her name, but she clearly still felt a way about her name because once they got to the table, she asked Candace to clarify her perception as to how she got with Simon. So obviously you care. So Candace pretty much said what everybody, the viewers, me, and I'm sure y'all were thinking. We saw you meet them as a married couple. And then 2 seconds after they split, you was married. We're confused. It looked like you stole a man to us. So then Portia explains that she already knew him when she met Fallon. We could tell. But she didn't give him a chance until he emailed her the papers. So he emailed her the papers, right? But allegedly, the papers were not finalized yet. They were still sitting on the judge's desk. But they were sent out. So they were divorced, but they weren't divorced, according to Portia. And even with all of that, y'all got engaged in less than a month. So it still looks crazy. Even after she explained it, it still sounded bad. But she seems to have the support of the ladies because clearly they be stealing men too.
I'm all about taking a man. If you can find a man that likes you more than whoever he's with, I'll take a man.
I'm not proud of it, but I've taken a man too.
Me looking at Portia's ring, that's a good ring. I'd steal that man too.
It's sad, but it's the reality of the world that we live in today. Let's be real. A lot of women saw nothing wrong with what Portia did and has probably done it or have thought about doing it. That's why a lot of people honestly see nothing wrong with what Portia did. I'm with Candace. I do like Portia, but I will never justify that. So episode 2 ends with the Miami girls getting into it with Leah because Alexia was at dinner retelling her story about her husband, and I guess this was boring Leah.
Are you ready for this?
Right.
Honestly, I'm so bored right now.
So Marisol stepped in to defend Alexia. The Miami girls, they definitely have each other's back. So yeah, she stepped in to defend her and she got red too.
Marisol, you're in a bad mood because your stomach hurts. Don't take it out on me.
Leah, that's not fair.
It's not my fault that you're drinking vodka every morning.
So yeah, that's episode 1 and 2. And like I told y'all in the beginning of the video, tomorrow you will be getting episodes 3 and 4. So far, my final thoughts based on the first 2 episodes. Giselle is running this. Clearly. She's back at it with her alleged ghost producing. None of these girls want to get on her bad side. She causing all the drama, doing what she usually do in Potomac, picking a target and trying to get all the ladies on her side against them, aka Heather. I see exactly what Candace was talking about when she said Portia was Giselle's little mini-me. I do still like Portia on this show, though. She's being the same Portia we all know and love from Atlanta. Of course, I like Candace, too. And I think Candace, Portia, and Giselle are obviously going to carry this season. The other ladies are bringing it. They're pulling their weight. I'll give them that. But they are the leaders of the pack, just for lack of better words. And I think the other ladies know that. They don't want no problems with Portia, Giselle, or Candace. They want to be cool with all of them. So yeah, those three are running the show. I do like the other ladies. I don't really know them like that, but they all seem cool so far. And yeah, that was episode 1 and 2. Y'all let me know what y'all think about Girls Trip so far in the comment section down below. If you have a favorite, who is your favorite? Let me know in the comments. Stay happy, healthy, and all of that good stuff. And I will see y'all in my next video. Bye.